Well, hell, so anime. I love it. I assume you love it. You clicked on a video about it, for crying out loud. We all love it here. There are multiple anime series and movies out there for us to feast our eyes on. Some that have wide acclaim, some that are widely hated, and some that are just plain boring. But despite being a self-proclaimed otaku for the last 10 years, I have not watched some big name anime out there, and have had them on my I'll watch them eventually list. Some of these are on here purely because of word of mouth, there's something I've had my interest piqued at, or there's something I've attempted to watch at one point, but didn't get far into them for one reason or another. So for this video I decided I'll take a small amount of my ever-growing list, and decided to make a video on this matter. I should also note that this video is inspired by Orgi, I think that's how you pronounce it. He makes some great videos on anime himself. If you somehow watch me but don't watch him, go ahead and click on his channel in the description or in the card up above. Anyway, without further ado, this is some anime that I plan to watch in no particular order. Well, this should be a surprise to some. If you don't know, I absolutely love the Gundam franchise. I have done since 2012, way before the boom that Iron-Blooded Orphans caused. Since 2013, I've been on the journey to watch every single Gundam series, but I have a few that I've yet to watch. The main one on the list is Turn-A Gundam. You genuinely cannot say that name without saying it like that. Turn-A was the last new Gundam series to be penned by Yoshiyuki Tomino before he returned to make Reconguista in G. And I've heard many gush about how amazing this Gundam installment is. For crying out loud, the titular Gundam's cockpit is an actual cockpit. That's amazing. Speaking of the main Gundam, its design was made by the late Sid Meier's, you know, the mechanical designer for a few movies like Blade Runner and Tron. Its wacky design certainly brings into question what makes a Gundam a Gundam, which was further pushed with later installments. Turn-A Gundam is apparently an anime epic set in some kind of industrial Earth, where time has regressed back from the advancements of mankind, but has old mecha hidden deep in the confines of the Earth. I started to watch this all the way back in 2015, but could not stand a low quality rip on Kiss Anime, and the first few episodes just felt like a bit of a mess, with some of the light comedy not hitting right as I just come off the main storyline of the UC timeline, which is heavily political and can be depressing in places. I've always meant to retry it, and now I can now that Blu-ray is available in the UK, for like £49 for the first 25 episodes. Okay, so this one I've already dipped my feet into a little bit as well, but that was with the manga and the first chapter of the visual novel. HIgurashi has always been on my radar ever since I watched the glass reflection video on it all those years ago, which caused me to pick up the first volume of the manga, which was already becoming difficult to find at that point. HIgurashi no Naku no Koro ni, also known as When You Cry over in English speaking area, is often touted as one of the amazing horror anime installments, not counting the recent sequels. As I mentioned in the Mieruko-chan video, I'm not one for horror, so I originally just avoided it and jammed out to the first opening song, especially when it was covered into English by some of my favourite English cover singers. It wasn't until recently when I bought all the chapters of the visual novel on Steam that my interest in the series has returned, but it also wasn't available anywhere to stream, much like Turn-A Gundam here in the UK. But that was until I bought the first season of the Blu-ray quite recently, so now I have no excuse, do I? Well, I do. I need to buy the rest of the Blu-rays first because I know that I will probably love it and don't want to have to wait to get the second season. Black Lagoon. An anime I got recommended after finishing Cowboy Bebop based on one thing. Like Cowboy Bebop, it apparently has an awesome dub. I did at one point own the DVD of Black Lagoon, but sold it not long after as I was going to get a Blu-ray player and planned to eventually pick up the Blu-ray of Black Lagoon. Yeah, that never happened, and I did that with a lot of anime series I had the DVDs of. The other thing that gets pointed out to me is the amount of grit and insanity this anime has, and that the original author Rei Hiro also wrote the concept for Recreators, an anime that I really enjoyed back when it aired. Rei Hiro is also a doujin artist, and he's used his characters in said doujins, at least that's what I've heard. Again, it's another anime with a sick-ass opening that I've listened to quite a fair bit. I should get around to it eventually. I do love a good gritty and wacky anime series, with a series taking place in an outlaw-like area with a good amount of bird flipping to make a grandma blush.
Yeah! You got fucked!
I think not seeing this one is going to get me hurt. Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, has one of the strongest followings I have seen for an anime adaptation, specifically the 2011 version, but I'd also like to watch the original 1999 version too. Togashi is known as a great mangaka for his stories and characters, and also for his hiatuses. As far as long-running shonen go, this one is surprisingly done by a studio I wouldn't associate with long-running anime, Madhouse, and I'm all for it. Too many are done by either Toei or Pierrot, so seeing a powerhouse like Madhouse animate 148 episodes should be interesting. I also always enjoy a good shonen regardless, so I look forward to getting my teeth into this one. I really have no reason as to why I haven't watched this one. Kyoto Animation, probably like many other fans, is one of my favourite studios. So it really doesn't make sense as to why I have never really watched this show. It was a big deal when it aired, as it was one of the few Netflix licensed anime that was simulcasting around the same time as the Japanese airing time, at the very least in the UK. Okay, I can actually explain why I haven't listened to it. I am not prepared to cry like a giant baby. I've sat down and listened to the music from the soundtrack and the beautiful openings by True, so I can guess how emotional the series would be, and the amount of videos talking about it being a great and sad story with a beautiful premise make me want to watch it even more, but I really don't want to cry. So yeah, that was the 5 series I really want to watch at some point, making the time to sit down and watch them. I'll be completely honest, this is just filler to give me time to make the next video. I should also mention again, this video was inspired by Augie. I love his videos, and the one that this one is inspired by made me realise how many anime I should have watched by now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to make another video like this again in the future. I like to make these videos more personal than analytical. Until next time, bye!